How's everybody doing today? I hope well. I hope the week has been serving you well. I hope you're healthy and happy. And today is episode 196. We're moving fast. The year is going very quickly. So thank you for watching another episode of Daily Motivation. 365 days of consistency, doing the same things over and over again until they become habit. And I like to, in the second half of this year, I want to give you these angel numbers because they seem to coincide about what inspires me to talk about and what's in this book. So the synchronicities are amazing and I love to see those. And so if you stumble upon this episode, that means this angel number and synchronicity is for you. So we're on episode 196. So I went to the book of angel numbers. Hey Sonia, how's it going? So I went to the angel numbers of 196. And so if you stumbled upon this episode, that means this message was specifically for you. 196. Give any cares or worries concerning your career or purpose to spirit, as your positive thoughts are a determining factor in these situations. One more time. Give any cares or worries concerning your career or purpose to spirit, as your positive thoughts are a determining factor in these situations. So again, if you stumble upon this episode, that angel message was for you. Amazing. So today I want to talk about happiness. Why do I want to talk about happiness? For many different reasons, but anything that anyone wants. It doesn't matter if it's a career, it's a job, it's a relationship, it's a money, it's a new car, new house. It doesn't matter what it is. Hey, Selva. Hey, Miriam. I'm going to give a quick shout out. Hey, Marilyn. Hey, Tasha. Thank you for watching. And anything anyone wants, my mentor Abraham Hicks says, is just to be happy. Is that feeling of happiness is what we're all searching for. And I was doing a live once, and one of my old friends back in Waterbury, Connecticut, where I grew up, said, "Man, you look so happy." Because different from where I used to look like. I didn't always look so happy. So she was like, "Wow, you look so happy." So I want to just talk about how I created happiness in my own life and how you can create happiness in yours as well. So we have to understand one thing. We're all naturally happy. The natural state of being is to be happy. Just think of a baby. A baby's more natural state of being. The only time it cries is if it's hungry and needs to be changed because it needs to get your attention. That's just natural to know, hey, if I cry, I'll get my parents' attention. But after that, in between, they're always happy. So your natural state of being is to be happy. So why are most of us unhappy? Well, first we have to know that we're naturally happy. Happiness is a natural state of being. That means we must be doing something that removes from our natural state. We do things that remove us from our own natural state of happiness. So I like to use this analogy. Actually, I'm going to start with a quick story. There was of a Zen legend. There's two monks walking in the woods on their way to the temple, where they found a woman who hurt her leg. And she needed help going from the next village. So one of the monks put the lady on his back and walked to that village and carried her all the way there. And they brought her to her home. Then the two monks left and went back to their temple. Then once they got to the temple, one of the monks that did not carry the woman said, "Do you know it's against our religion to have contact with a human being?" And the other monk said, "Well, I dropped her off miles ago, and you're still carrying her." What I mean by that is we carry things mentally in our minds that create a state of unhappiness. Think about my mentor Abraham uses this analogy. Think about a cork sitting on top of a water. And think underneath the water, that cork has a hook. And each time we have a negative thoughts on a circumstance, on a situation, we add weight to that hook. And what happens is that cork that naturally floats on the water is getting pulled down deeper and deeper underneath the sea. So each thought that's negative about a particular circumstances adds weight to that cork. And what makes that cork go down deeper, 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 deeper. And that deep state is that state of unhappiness. Hey, Margaret, thank you for watching. So each time you put that cork down, you actually put yourself in a state of unhappiness. So it's our current thoughts on a current situation that creates the unhappiness feeling. So, Rich, if my thoughts, my negative outlooks, my negative perspective is causing my unhappiness, how do I return back to my natural state? Great question. There's many different ways. I mentioned several different ways in my book, Destiny on Purpose, How to Get What You Truly Want Out of Life. But I'll give you one quick way that I like to use personally. I like to release those negative thoughts. I like to release those negative circumstances and perspective in my mind. How do I do that? And how do I remove the weights? By believing that life is not happening to me, it's happening for me. So I always search the silver lining. Whatever situation it is, I always try to look for what is the positive advantage within this situation. Or I just release it to the cosmos, to the Brahman, to the universe, to God, whatever you like to call it, to Muhammad, to Buddha. It doesn't really matter, but I release it. And I like to do a meditation that helps me release those current situations. It just says, take your current situations and release it to the Brahman. Just release it. Have that expectation that you can release all of that negativity to source energy. Because we have an erroneous idea that we're supposed to carry these things with us. Because it gives us a sense of responsibility. We feel irresponsible if we don't carry these burdens. But that's false. I like to study religion. I'm actually reading the good book now as we speak. I try to study Judaism, Zenism, Taoism, Arab philosophy, and nowhere where I found that we're supposed to carry the weight of the world. Not anywhere. I've read it. I have spiritual books as much as I possibly can of success, and never once did anyone ever say, any sage, any priest, any person that actually studied this material said, you're supposed to carry the burdens of the world. Not one. But yet we do that. We carry, hey, there's issues happening in our country. There's issues happening in our world. Hey, there's issues happening with my kids. There's issues happening with my parents. And we carry those weights, but those are not burdens we're meant to carry. So there's a universal source energy that carries those burdens, that takes care of all those things for us. So I release those things in my life and I say, I'm not in charge of any of those things. I can change what I can change personally, but what I can't change, I release. And each time I release it, a weight comes off, a weight comes off, a weight comes off, a weight comes off. And then you feel light because you're not carrying any weight on your shoulders anymore. And then you feel lighter. And in that lightness, your cork goes back up to the surface where happiness resides. So today, if you're feeling a little unhappy, you're feeling a little uneasy, find a way to release those things. Change the things you can, but if you cannot change it, find a way to release it. And even if you're in a particular situation right now, it doesn't mean that that situation will last forever. So yes, it may not change in a week or two or a day or two, but have the knowledge that it can change. And this is just one moment in time. And there's millions and millions and millions of different moments in time. And you're always progressing, moving forward. So if you can release it and say, you know what, I can't change it today, but it will change. But I release it. I release this burden on my shoulders. And I ask for help. I ask the universe for help all the time. I say, universe, help me with this situation. And sometimes it just seems that the situation helps itself and things just go away. I have many stories about that. I especially write it in my book, Destiny on Purpose. But understand, the only way to find happiness is to release the onion. So think about an onion and think of the core is happiness. So each time you peel away a burden, a stress, somebody did me wrong. Yeah, that person did you wrong, that's fine. But if you understand the law of karma, you understand that there's nothing you can do about it. It will be reside itself. Justice will always be served. It's a universal balance balance book, which again I write in my book. But understand that each time you let go of that burden, I don't need to hold on to that person, that regret, that turmoil, that pain, that suffering. I don't need to hold on to any of it. And I release it. And I release it. And again, the only way you can release anything is not to judge it. Not to judge it as good or bad. Just judge it as is. Nothing's good or bad, but only thinking makes it so. William Shakespeare. Nothing's good or bad, but only thinking makes it so. Thank you, Jasmine. So when we could peel back that onion each time and say, I don't need to hold on to my parents' issues. I don't need to hold on to my kids' issues. I don't need to hold on to the economy. I don't need to worry about the pandemic. I don't need to worry about where I'm gonna get the money next. I don't need to hold on to any of it. And each time you peel those layers back, you're getting to the core of what happiness really is. And what happiness really is your natural state of being. So by letting go, you return back to your natural state, which is always happiness. Tasha, thank you. I appreciate it. Natu, thank you for watching. Again, if you came late to this message, please go to the beginning of this video because there's a special angel message just for you. Just for you. So each time if you stumble on this episode, that means that this life is synchronicities. Nothing happens by accident. So if you stumble on this video, please watch the beginning of it to get your special angel message. It might be the message that you've been looking for a very long time. So thank you. Again, this is Rich Fontaine. Either you could agree with me or not agree with me. But either way I feel, this was a successful conversation. Thank you all. Love is love. And I appreciate all of you. And any of us could release this energy. We really can. Namaste.